Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Jambert. Today, we're sticking with two sports, NBA, playoffs, talk about that. After we're doing 2 segments of that, after that, we'll go to the NFL. Drafts tomorrow, we'll do another mock draft. We'll talk about the wide receivers and defensive linemen / ends. I haven't talked about either of those so far on my show, and I do want to get, into that. So I'll talk about that. But before we get into that, tips and donations. Tips and donations are always greatly appreciated. By tipping and donating, it shows that you guys care about the content that we're putting out, and we do put out the best content that we possibly can. So yeah, by donating, it means you guys care. If you do want to tip or donate, if you're in the live stream, feel free to do that with the super chat and sticker feature. If you're not in the live stream, the 2 links in the bio and description. If you don't want to tip or donate, but still want to feel like, you want to contribute to the channel, leave a comment. Leave a comment in the live stream section, the comment section of the YouTube video, or the shorts that we post. We'll see those as soon as they pop up. We'll get notifications, and we'll respond to those as soon as possible. So feel free to leave a comment in the live stream section, the comment section of the YouTube video, or the short video. But like I said, if you do want to tip or donate and you're in the live stream, feel free to do that with the super chat and sticker feature. If you're not in the live stream, 2 links in the bio and in the description. With that being said, let's get into today's content, shall we? So before we get into that, sorry, I'm going to say I'm a little sick. My nose is a little runny, throat's a little sore. So I might be getting up here and then blow my nose or, make some, you'll hear a weird little like that out of me. I have to do it that time. But so heads up for that. I'm sorry. But first segment, we'll do a little Tuesday night recap of the NBA. Last night, we had 3 games. We had the Memphis OKC, Minnesota, Lakers. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. This could be a long one just because, all that. But then we got the Bucks and the Pacers. So I'm gonna start off with the easiest one to talk about. Thunder, Memphis. That series is the easiest to talk about because it is not a very good series. I mean, the Grizzlies are just getting manhandled on every aspect of the game. They're not shooting. They're not getting boards. They're not playing good defense. And OKC, they're doing that. They're doing exactly that. They're playing good offense. They're playing good defense. They're getting boards. And they just have their team which is doing better overall than the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, even if you didn't watch the game, you just want to look at the box score, the stats will show that. I mean, Jared Jackson Jr. last night, they lost when it was 118-99. I mean, Memphis did put up a better fight than last time, but still not nearly enough to, compete and win. Jared Jackson Jr., 26 points. John Morant, 23 points. Desmond Bane had a 19 and 12 rebounds, double-double. I mean, excuse me. That's pretty good. I mean, everyone on your starting roster besides Zach Edey had 10-plus points. Zach Edey had 4, 7, and 3. It's a pretty poor stat line, especially for a starting player, a starting center who is the tallest player on the court. That's honestly pretty poor in my opinion. But yeah, I mean the Thunder just outplayed them in every aspect. You have Chet Holmgren putting up 20 and 11, double. You got obviously SGA 27, 8, and 5. Jalen Williams, the starting Jalen Williams, 24 points. I mean, this team is really good. I mean, the OKC Thunder, it's really not hard to say. They are a really well-balanced, well-rounded team. And they're just a lot better than the Memphis Grizzlies. They really are. They're just overall the better team, and they just have the best chances to win the series. They're going to sweep them. I'm 100% certain, maybe not 100, 95% certain they will sweep the Memphis Grizzlies 4-0. Just by the way they're playing the past 2 games, it's just not that hard to interpret that, I feel like. All right, with that game out of the way, let's talk about the 2 good games from yesterday. I got Minnesota versus LA, and then Minneapolis versus Indiana. Pacers versus Bucks. Let's do the Bucks game. Let's talk about the Bucks game first. Damian Lillard made his return last night. After being gone out of the NBA for a few months with his blood clot, he's officially made his NBA return back last night. And I said yesterday, I didn't think he would do that good because blood clots, when you're taking those thinners, you don't do anything. You're just sitting on the couch, relaxing, trying to, not really relaxing, but trying to heal yourself up, get healthy again. And he wasn't working out. He wasn't, doing any of that. And it showed. Yeah, he had like a nice 18 points, but they lost by 8 points. So, he had a good his first game back, I would say, is definitely good. Helped his team, kept his team in the game, but it really wasn't enough. When you have Giannis putting up 34 and 18, you'd think, oh, you look at that stat line and say, oh, they definitely won for sure. They, in fact, did not. Giannis is just that good of a player. Giannis is so dominant. Another double-double, another 34-point double-double, because he had, I think, 36 the first game against them, too, and they just can't seem to get a win. And Indiana, like I've been saying, is Milwaukee's kryptonite. They just cannot seem to beat them in any situation that they need them to be. They just cannot seem to beat the Indiana Pacers. Even when I think the Bucks are a better overall team, they just can't seem to beat them. Sorry, my throat. But yeah, the Bucks just didn't play good enough to beat the Pacers last night, and the Pacers did. Pascal Siakam, 24 and 11, another double-double. Tyrese Halliburton, 21 and 12, 12 assists, 21 points. Tyrese Halliburton's been playing very good all year. Tyrese Halliburton has been making plays all year, and even for someone who's considered not really a scorer, he does score very well and very consistent for the Pacers. He shot 8 for 19 isn't the best, but 21 points. Everybody on the Pacers roster had 10. Every starter on the Pacers roster had 10 plus points. Going on the list, had a burp. Going down the list of starters, Pascal 24, Andrew Naismith 16, Miles Turner 15, Andrew Nembhard 17, Tyrese Halliburton 21. They're all making really good. They're all just shooting well. They're all, helping the team contribute. They're all doing what's necessary for the team to win and succeed. And I like to see, when teams play good like that, you will win games. And the Pacers made it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year by doing that. Playing good overall basketball, playing good as a team, shooting well, making plays, getting rebounds, and they're doing that. Milwaukee is not. That's why they have lost the first series so far, 2-0. The Pacers have been playing very consistent, very good basketball. The Bucks have not. They're relying on Giannis to do good, and Giannis isn't. He's still doing really good. 34-point double-double. That's a pretty good stat line. But when you have guys like, Kyle Kuzma putting up, he put up 12 points on 5 for 10 shooting, so he shot 50%. But his first game, when you're putting up 0 points, 0 rebounds, and 0 assists on 22 minutes of play time, that's not going to help your cause to help win a game. You can't be having two starters dropping under 10 points. That's Tayshaun Prince and Kyle Kuzma. Tayshaun with 6, Kuzma with 8. It's a pretty bad look. Especially, it's just not a good look. Brook Lopez had 8 as well. Just not a good look for your team overall. I think the Pacers will win this game. I think the Bucks may get one game on them, but overall, I think the Pacers win that game in 5, just because how well they've been playing recently. The final game of the night and the best game of the night, even though there really was no, I guess you could say overall best game, the best game of the night was the Lakers-Minnesota Timberwolves game. It was great. The Lakers had the lead the entire time, and they were playing to win. They were playing a legit contending team. Towards the end of the game, the Timberwolves, started to mount a comeback. It wasn't enough to secure the win, because the Lakers ended up winning 94-85 by 9 points. But still, the series is now tied 1-1 and going to Minnesota. It's now going to Minnesota, and that's going to be a huge momentum change and momentum booster for the Timberwolves. I think them going home, 100%, they can honestly beat them twice, take the series 3-1, and go to LA. But, Luka, the Lakers just played really good last night. They played a lot better than they did the first night. LeBron, 21-11 double-double. Luka, 31-12 double-double. Austin Reeves, 16. You get guys like that playing good basketball, good consistent basketball, such as LeBron, Luka, Austin Reeves. You're going to win games. Obviously, you're not going to be consistent every night, and that's why you lose games. But, it also helps that some players play, some players don't play good. You got Mike Conley, starter for the Timberwolves, dropped 0 points last night. 0 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist. That helps when your starter's dropping 0 points. Anthony Edwards at 25. Julius Randle at 27. I mean, also helps when one of the best centers in the league, I mean, stat-wise, Rudy Gobert only has 6 points and 6 rebounds. I mean, that's also really going to help your case when Rudy Gobert is only getting 6 rebounds. But, I mean, that helps. And the Lakers, yeah, they won. Pretty, they commanded that game most of the time. And I'm not sure how it's going to end up. I mean, with them going to Minnesota now, it's going to be a very interesting look to see if they can handle Minnesota. Because it could be another 2-2 tie going back to LA, or Minnesota's going to be up 3-1 by the time they go back to LA. Only time will tell, but we'll have to wait and see. That's all I got for this segment. Next segment, we're going to preview the games for tonight. After that, NFL draft, talking about receivers, defensive linemen, ending off with a quick little mock draft. We'll get to that after the break.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Jambert. In the first segment, we recapped the NBA playoff games from last night. In this segment, we're going to talk about the playoff games for tonight, Wednesday night games. After this, we're going to the NFL, talking NFL draft. I'll preview a mock draft that I'm, going to cook up a little bit. We'll talk about the receivers and the defensive linemen in this draft as well. Before we get into any of that, though, bang. Tips and donations. Tips and donations are always greatly appreciated. By tipping and donating, it means you guys care about the content that we're putting out, and we do put out the best content that we possibly can. So it really means a lot when people tip and donate. So if you do want to show your support, if you're in the live stream and want to donate, the super chat and stickers are the best way to do that. If you're not in the live stream and you want to tip or donate, do that with the 2 links in the bio and in the description. That really means a lot. Even if you don't want to tip or donate and still want to show you guys support and care for us, leave a comment on the short comment in the comment section on the YouTube Shorts, the YouTube video, or in the live stream comment section. I'll see those as soon as they pop up. So feel free to do that, and I'll respond to that as soon as I possibly can. It's my job to talk to you guys, and I like being able to talk. So feel free to do that, and I'll see that as soon as I can. But if you do want to super donate, like I said, and you're in the live stream, super chat and stickers, the best way to do that. And if you're not in the live stream, the 2 links in the bio and in the description. With that being said, let's talk about the NBA games tonight, shall we? NBA tonight. It's 3 games. Sorry. 3 games. Only I'd say one of them is going to be, good, I guess you could say. It's it's just 2 Eastern Conference games. The Celtics Magic and the Cavs Heat. And the Western Conference is the Houston Rockets and then the Golden State Warriors. So obviously the best game is going to be Golden State Warriors versus the Houston Rockets. But let's talk about the two other games first in the East before we get into that. I'm going to blow my nose real quick, though, because my nose is killing me. Ooh. That didn't really help, honestly. Like, you know when you blow your nose and you think it's going to help? That one really didn't. So that's just a waste of a tissue. All right. Let's talk about the 1 versus 10. We'll talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Miami Heat first. That was a good first game. Honestly, in the first game of that series, the Miami Heat lost. They lost by about 20 points. And honestly, for a 20-point deficit, a 20-point loss, it really didn't seem like they were down 20 points most of that game. I feel like they kept it a lot closer than most teams would have in that situation. And I do feel like the Heat still have an opportunity, still have a chance to, make a name for themselves and win a few games. I really do. I think they're a really good offensive team. Defense, I wouldn't say as much, but their defensive play is not bad whatsoever. And yeah, they're playing, the Cleveland Cavaliers, one of the best teams in the NBA. They got, Darius Garland, who can just play his basketball. He's shifty, he can shoot, he can score. I mean, he's pretty hard to defend. But that's why you got a guy like Tyler Hero on him. Tyler Hero is a good matchup for Darius Garland. They're both around the same height, same weight. They both play the same. They're both very fast, very shifty. And, I mean, Darius Garland just wouldn't miss the other day. That's why they won by so much, because Darius Garland just didn't seem to want to miss when he took his shots. No matter where he was on the floor, if he was by the logo, if he was, anywhere else. He just didn't seem to want to miss. And that's why they won. So, I mean, this game tonight will very heavily rely on the Cleveland shooting, because if they don't shoot well, Miami has an opportunity to come in and play some very close basketball with the Cleveland Cavaliers and maybe take a game away from them. You got guys, obviously, Bam Adebayo versus, Evan Mobley / Jarrett Allen. I mean, that's a great matchup. Bam Adebayo is one of the best centers in the NBA. I will say that. He's very consistent getting double-doubles. Excuse me. He's a good double-double player. He makes a lot of plays. He gets rebounds, scores points. I mean, he's good. He's a great center for the Heat. You got Tyler Hero, like I said, phenomenal player. He can score. He can, he's athletic. He can shoot. He can do anything you need him to. Duncan Robinson, Jamie Vasquez. It's a good overall team. Yeah, they're a 10 seed, but I do still believe they can still come away with a few games in this series. 7-game series? No. 6, maybe at best. But this game tonight won't be, it's one of the games tonight where I'll tune in, but I probably won't be, I'll be playing heavy detail attention to. The other game of the Eastern Conference tonight. This is a game that can be a little better. The Magic versus the Boston Celtics. The Celtics are without Jason Tatum tonight, and that is a huge opportunity for Magic to come in and try to sneak a game in for them. They're still a great defensive team. The Magic are still a phenomenal defensive squad. And the Boston Celtics, they are a very good three-point shooting team. If they continue to apply three-point pressure on the arc like they were last game, the Celtics won. But the Orlando Magic were applying pressure that entire game on any level, on every level they needed them to. And they lost by a few points, I believe by like 10 or 15. They were in that game most of that time. And they were never out of it until, the final minute or so, and they started to creep away. The Celtics, and they started to creep away. But, it's going to be, that's actually going to be one of those games. Ooh, hang on. Some snot. My nose is killing me right now. This is horrible. But, they're a good team. The Boston Celtics are a 2 seed, the Magic are a 7 seed. But, honestly, the Magic are a very good 7 seed. They're a great defensive 7 seed. Their scoring could use some work. That's why, they're a 7 seed, because they can't score too well. But if they play good enough defense tonight, they will be a team that could sneak away with this, tying at 1-1 going into Orlando. Oh, man, I'm so sorry. My nose is just killing me today. Oh, I'm not sure why. I woke up just not feeling the best, and my nose is like that today. Horrible. But yeah, like I said, the Magic could hopefully sneak away with a win today, take it tight to 1-1, heading to Orlando. They'll probably not. I mean, if they win tonight, it's because Tatum's not playing. But still, getting a win against the Celtics like that could be a momentum booster for the Orlando Magic to maybe possibly take them to 6. Highly doubt they go to 7. But if they win tonight, get some momentum, maybe, just maybe, they can take them to 7 and prove everybody wrong that, hey, we're a defensive team. They're a heavily set defensive team, and they've proven it so far throughout the year through their letting their opponents score so little and them scoring just enough for them to be able to win their games. The final game tonight, the best game of the night by far, the Golden State Warriors versus the Houston Rockets. That is a game that that everybody who loves the NBA should be watching. That is a phenomenal game. This very young Houston Rockets team versus this very tenured, very old, I wouldn't say very old, but tenured Golden State Warriors team. Obviously, you still got guys like Steph Curry, who's still been playing phenomenal basketball his entire career. Draymond Green, phenomenal defender. The addition of Jimmy Butler to the Warriors is probably the best thing that organization could have done in this free agency. He has helped that team so much, defensively, offensively. He's a phenomenal player. Overall, he's a phenomenal player, and he is one of the reasons the Warriors are still in the playoffs right now, because Jimmy Butler, his play and performance was so good, and his playoff performance so far has been very good. The very young Houston Rockets, though, they're still, they lost to the Warriors in Game 1, but they still are, the 2 seed in one of the best Western conferences we've seen in a very long time. They are very young. They got, Jalen Green leading them at the point, Amen Thompson, Jabari Smith. You got Dylan Brooks, Alperen Sengun, who honestly is a phenomenal center. This team is very good and a very well-rounded, very young team. Besides Dylan Brooks, most of their starters weren't drafted until 2021. And they're a great young team. Going from a 500 team last year and now making the playoffs to a 2 seed in the West is a huge accomplishment for them. And there's no doubt in my mind that they can get a win tonight. They lost by, I believe it was 9 last time they played. And tonight I can see them getting a win by maybe 10 points, maybe like 8 or more. It's just a matter of how Steph Curry plays, but I just think their bench is a lot deeper than the Warriors. And when Steph Curry's out of the game, the Warriors tend to fall back a little bit. They tend to, score less, slow down. And when other teams see Steph Curry out, they take advantage of that. They start playing more aggressive, a lot faster, and they can't. So, when you got the greatest shooter of all, one of the greatest three-point shooters of all time, the greatest three-point shooter of all time off the floor, take advantage of it and come back, it's a lot harder for people to, come back as a team and, recap it up, I guess you could say. But it's going to be a great game tonight regardless. I would love to see Golden State win this series in 7. It would just be awesome to see, a 7 seed come into the playoffs and beat a 2 seed in the West. That'd be a phenomenal sight, honestly. But will it happen? I'm not really sure. Only time will tell with that. But I do think it's completely possible, especially if the Houston Rockets win tonight. I think the series can go to 6 or 7. But if the Warriors win, I think it can be like a 5-game series where Warriors just prove that they're still one of the best dynasties in the NBA, and they're here to stay and possibly make another run for another NBA championship like the 2022 season they had a few seasons ago. That's all I got for this segment. We're moving away from basketball now, heading to the NFL, talking draft, mock draft, wide receivers, and defensive linemen, and ends. We'll get to that after the break.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Noel Jamber. In the first two segments, we talked about NBA, recapped games from last night, and previewed the games for tonight. We're flipping the switch. We're going to the NFL now, talking the draft. And first segment for, the NFL, wide receivers. Also, if you're just tuning in, sorry I'm a little sick, so I'll be sneezing, getting some Kleenex to, help me not be as sick. So, sorry if you're watching, you don't like to see that stuff. Yeah, first off, like I said, we're going with wide receivers. The wide receivers in this year's draft class I feel like they're not as, talented in years prior. I feel like there's a lot less talent, a lot less big names in this draft class compared to previous seasons. But there's still a phenomenal amount of receivers in this draft class. I mean, obviously, you got the best receiver in this draft class out of Arizona. I cannot say his first name. Tatoria, that's definitely how you say it. McMillan. Yeah, I definitely butchered that. But, yeah, out of Arizona. He had the triple crown in receiving. He had, the most receiving yards, touchdowns, complete receptions this season. And he's a phenomenal player. He's not the fastest out of his routes, but one thing he can do is get low and once he's moving, there's no stopping him. I mean, he's 6'4", 219, so he's a pretty big receiver. But the thing about him, he just gets so low that teams just, they don't really know how to react to a guy getting that big, getting so low. And a benefit for him is, him being his height. I mean, if you ever saw him play this year, you would notice a lot of the times he's getting the ball, it's a lot of 50-50 balls. And, just he's downfield, throw it up and down here, I'm going to catch it. And that's something that he played a lot. It was a big, he was a huge part of his Arizona success this year because a lot of, 50-50 balls, quick routes. I mean, like I said, he's a big dude and he's a great receiver. So he's going to be probably the first receiver off the board this year, just based off, pure skill alone. He's going to be the first receiver off the board, in my opinion. Another receiver in this class, Matthew Golden out of Texas. He's standing at 5'11", 191. So, I guess you could say a little shorter for a receiver, but I doubt it. Being like 5'11", 6'1" for a receiver is pretty, that's pretty average. But I feel like below 6 foot, people will start to question his ability to play just based off his height. But that's just completely ridiculous. He had a 4.3 40 dash, and you can see on tape, on film, that's showing. I mean, he's like a Xavier Worthy. I mean, out of Texas, you know what I'm saying. But he's a phenomenal player. I mean, him and that Quinn Ewers connection this year were phenomenal. He was a big part of their win against Arizona State this year. Phenomenal receiver. He's very fast. He's very explosive, especially his first step. He's got a very good high point. You throw him the ball, and he's going up for it. I mean, every receiver goes up for it, but he does it a lot better than a lot of other receivers. He's a great receiver overall. He can catch. He can get out of his breaks fast, and he's just a guy you want to see downfield. I'm about to blow my nose. I'm sorry if you're seeing this. So if you don't like to see it, but oh man, it's getting better though. My nose is already getting better from a few of these blows. They've gotten better, so we're making improvements. Some other good receivers out of just this draft. One that's he's a little further down on a lot of people's draft boards. I can see why. Torrey Hilton out of Colorado State. I feel like the past 2 years when you saw Torrey Hilton against his games against Colorado, he made a name for himself in last year's game when they went to not like 2 seasons ago, I guess you could say, I think it was the 2023-2024 season, and when he played Colorado. And when that game went to double OT, and he had like 250, 300 receiving yards. I mean, he did miss most of this year with injury. Unfortunately, he had a knee injury. But still, even with that knee injury out, he caught 67 passes for about 2,200 receiving yards and 16 touchdowns in his first 2 seasons at Colorado State, which is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, having 16 touchdowns and 2,200 receiving yards while also being out for, an X amount of time. I mean, it really just shows how good of a receiver he is. He's 6'3", 196, runs a 4.4, 4.41, 40-yard dash time. I mean, he is just a really good route runner and a very good player for Colorado State. He was the reason that Colorado State was, they weren't like a crazy good team, but when you saw them play on offense, he was a very recognizable name. Torrey Horton. I mean, recognizable name. I mean, even if you don't watch college football enough, like a lot, you can see him play and notice. You can see that this kid is going to be a really good steal in this draft. Like I said, he's big. He's not like very heavy in weight, so he's pretty fast. And obviously he runs a 4.4 40-yard dash. I mean, that's pretty quick, I would say, especially in my standards. So honestly, I think he could probably be the steal of a draft. I mean, he's phenomenal. He's, like you said, he's big, he's quick, and even with his injuries, he was he was just a phenomenal player. Another phenomenal player I want to talk about out of San Jose State. Oh, sorry about that. Kid out of San Jose State. Oh, wait. His name. Sorry about that. I got to pull this up. Oh, yeah, Nick Nash. Sorry, I forgot his name. I had to literally search his name because I forgot. Nick Nash out of San Jose State. San Jose State, obviously, not the biggest team in the world. Not the biggest, big market team or whatever. But Nick Nash, 6'3", 203 pounds. He led the country in touchdowns this year. 116 receptions, all the 104, and total receiving yards, or just yards total, with 1,382. I mean, that's all you got to say. When you have a kid and a receiver leading, he had the Triple Crown. He had the Triple Crown of receiving, most receptions, touchdowns, and yards. And that's always, a good look for the kid. Especially a kid in a small, I wouldn't say San Jose State's the biggest market school in the world. So having a kid like that, kind of bring attention to your school, but not only school, himself, proving himself to be a legitimate receiver for San Jose State. And he's a very good athlete as well. 6'3", 203, a little slow, 40-yard dash time with 4.5. I mean, 4.5 isn't, I wouldn't say slow, but for a receiver, he could definitely improve his speed on that aspect of it. But even with, a 4.5 40, whatever, he's still a great athlete. I mean, you don't get just a Triple Crown in receiving and just be bad. He's a great receiver. He's a great athlete, and he's going to be a very good pick for whatever team wants to pick him up, which I think he could probably end up falling to 3rd, 4th, 5th round. Maybe 4th or 5th round will probably end up falling to. So, I mean, he's going to be a very good athlete for whatever team picks him up, and he's going to help that team in whatever aspect they need him, because he's more of a slot receiver. So if they need him in the slot, he will help that team in that position that they need him, which will be, the slot. Some more receivers we can bring up while we're here. A kid out of Colorado, Jimmy Horn Jr. Jimmy Horn, obviously behind Travis Hunter. Even with him, being wide receiver number 2 for the Buffs, he was still a very well-known receiver. When it wasn't Travis Hunter getting the ball, it was Jimmy Horn. Jimmy Horn made so many plays this year for Colorado. Granted, he is very small, though. The problem with him, he is a very, very small receiver. 5'8", 174. I mean, he doesn't have the height or the weight, but what he does have is speed. When you're that small and he's so fast. He had a 4.4 40-yard dash time at the combine or at the pro day. And, having a 4.4 40-yard time dash, that's phenomenal. Even for a kid who's so small, especially at 5'8". I'm taller than him. but he's still a great receiver. You would see him a lot this year going deep when you'd have Travis Hunter, more of a post dig like type of receiver. You have Jimmy Horn running a lot of, deep post, fade balls, backside fades, whatever, because he's just so quick. And yeah, he's smaller. Even with his, his small height, small stature, he's a lot of versatility. I mean, he can jump high. You need him, for a quick slant mash route concept. Yeah, he's there. He's so quick off the ball. His first movement, his first foot, he's just so explosive off the snap. And he's a player that if any team picks him up, especially during the draft, he will be a good asset for that team. I'm excited to see now these Colorado kids are becoming very good. Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horn. I mean, it's going to be a great combination of Colorado players in this draft. But Jimmy Horn, even with him being a smaller name guy in this draft, he's going to be a great receiver for whatever team picks him up. He is small, so he will have to they'll have to figure that out, how they want to play with that, how they want to use him. But whatever team gets him will be, if they utilize him right, will be successful doing that. So that's all I got for this segment. Next segment, we're sticking with the NFL. We're talking defensive linemen, tight like DNs, interior linemen. We'll talk about that. And then after that, we're going nice little mock draft after that for the final segment. So we'll get to all that after the break.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Jammer. First three segments, we talked about the NBA. We had the playoffs, talked about the games from last night, previewed the games for tonight. Last segment, we started with talking about the NFL. I talked about our NFL wide receivers in this draft. This segment 4, we're sticking with NFL, but we're going to the linemen. I'm going to move this over a little bit while we're at it. Sure. Why not? Make it look better. Sure. But the NFL defensive linemen, DNs, interior, we're going to mix it together, talk about both of them. So we'll start with just tackles. We'll start with some defensive tackles. So like I said earlier, if you're just tuning in, I'm a little sick, so sorry about that. Sorry if I sneeze or whatever. First guy on the defensive tackle side, I want to talk about the kid out of Michigan, Mason Graham. Mason Graham is probably, actually I would say definitely the best defensive tackle in this year's draft. 6'4", 296, basically 300 pounds at 6'4". I mean, he's a beast. In 2024, he had 45 tackles, a lot of solo tackles, sorry. But, I mean, he's just a beast. He's fast. For someone so big in height and weight for a defensive lineman, he is so quick getting off seeing the snap, getting off, and forcing other linemen back. He is so strong, too. He is very, very strong. He can read a defense very well as well. One thing about him, a lot of the times during for Michigan, he would be the one, how linebackers kind of, call out a new defensive scheme. Let's say they see a running back switching in the backfield. They see him going from left to right. They'll switch locations. They'll change the play they're running, the defensive scheme they're running. Mason Graham would be doing that for Michigan instead of the linebackers. I mean, he knew what was going on all the time in the backfield, and he was able to stop a lot of run plays just by himself because he knew, he's going this gap. I'm going to fill it up just by myself because he's just that good. Like I said, he's so big, and for how big he is very fast off the ball, and he's going to be the best. He is the best overall DN in this, or defensive lineman tackle in this draft. Another guy out of Michigan, Kenneth Graham. I'm not going to say he's not the second best, but he's another kid at Michigan that, I want to talk about. Kenneth Grant, 6'4", 331. This kid's a tank. He is very, very good. He, over the past few seasons, the past 2 seasons of his time at Michigan, he had 12 pass deflections. That's also really good to see when you have linemen who are willing to risk it, get off the ground, go for a block in the air, and he tended to be successful. He had 12. He had about 6 each season. And, that's always successful to see. A D lineman getting off the ground somehow, it's really hard. It's not easy to do either. Managing to see the quarterback, locate him, see that he's getting into his throwing motion, time the jump right enough for him to be able, and, for the quarterback to throw it in his direction, he has to, move his arms perfectly to block it. It's a very hard task to do. And Kenneth Grant is one of the best defenders in the game just because of his blocking ability. His pass blocking ability, I guess you could say, even on the defensive side of the ball. He's a very, I'm not going to say he's fast, but for his size, he's quick. He can get into a good pursuit angle. He's able to catch up to defenders who are offensive players, quarterbacks, receivers, running backs, pretty fast. He's not going to catch them one-on-one, but he's able to keep tailing with them and have them thinking that he's behind him, I got to get away. So he's always a looming threat. Always a player you don't want to see run into on the defensive side of the ball. Through this last season, he had 18 solo tackles and 3 sacks. That's a huge stat line for a kid to have like that. 18 solos is a really good sight to see, and he's really good. Michigan has always produced some really good running defensive linemen, some good run prevention defensive linemen, and this year he got 2 defensive tackles. Both from Michigan, both projected to go in the top 5 of that position, defensive tackle position. Michigan keeps producing these kids to come out of the woodwork and just produce. And it's been good for them the whole few seasons, the past, since their dynasty, I guess you could say, started again in 2021. They've had a defensive tackle / end go top 5 every year, I swear. So, talk about him. Let's switch it up. Well, obviously, we're switching up for Michigan. There's no more Michigan kids on this side of the ball that I want to talk about, on the defensive tackle side. We'll go to TJ Sanders out of South Carolina. We'll do TJ Sanders out of South Carolina. He stands at a staggering 6'4", 300 pounds, and man, is he quick. He is probably one of the fastest guys you can see on the other side of the ball. He can play any gap you need him to be. He can fill. He causes one thing about TJ Sanders. He can fill in gaps by himself, just completely by himself. He can fill in a gap, 2 gaps. Sorry, he manages to clog up one gap and force another lineman. He'll get a move, he'll get a spin move, or slap move and get through, and he will end up clogging up 2 lanes by himself, completely stopping a whole play in action if it's a run play. Completely stopping the running back from getting anywhere that he needs to be. And it's insane how, versatile this kid is. Like I said, 6'4", 300 pounds, and he's just so quick. It's actually really good. It's actually kind of insane to see how athletic these kids are nowadays, how athletic these high collegiate future pro players are. He's a top 10 defensive tackle in the draft, but I think he can go higher than most in his class for his position. I think he's a really good player, especially out of South Carolina, who is honestly snubbed of a college football playoff spot, the 12-team playoffs. I think they were snubbed, and he was their best defensive player on that side of the ball. He's a phenomenal, probably the best player on their team, honestly. And he's a phenomenal player. He is overall South Carolina's best player, or was last year, and he 100% could be the second defensive tackle off the board, because I think Mason Graham goes above him. But honestly, I think that's my opinion. I think that's honestly not a crazy thing to say. We'll switch it up from the defensive tackle side of the ball. We'll go to the D-end side of the ball now. Obviously, the number 1 overall pick, probably he'll be a top 3 pick. The kid out of Penn State, Abdul Carter. Obviously, it's Abdul Carter. 6'3", 250 pounds, and the cornerstone, the heart and soul of Penn State's defense. Penn State is known to be a defensive team. And Abdul Carter was their defensive anchor. Phenomenal player for the Nittany Lions. I mean, through his season at Penn State, his 2024 season, I mean, his stats were just insane. He had 43 solo tackles, 68 total, 12 sacks. I mean, 12 sacks at the D end in a single season when you're playing 12 games. I mean, he's averaging a sack a game. I mean, that's insane. I mean, he's just a nutcase. I mean, he's just so athletic. He is just the perfect player for the Giants or the Browns, whoever pick him up. But he is the consensus number 1 DN in the draft. You got guys like Mike Green out of Marshall, one of the most underrated DNs in the draft by far. Maybe overall just defensive players in the draft. He's 6'3", 250. He played, some weaker competition, but it doesn't matter. He led the FBS in sacks at 17 through the 2024 season. He's very fast off the ball. He is someone that he's just so quick. He gets compared to like Aiden Hutchinson a lot, based off their same play style. Fast off the ball, love to go for a spin move. I mean, excuse me, I just burped. But I mean, he's just a really good player, and he's really strong. Catch him, one-on-one outside with the tackle, or catch him outside with the tackle, and he's winning that 1v1. Or like a pulling guard. He's winning that one-on-one, and he will cause a disruption in the backfield, disrupting a play. He's just really strong and someone that you really don't want to run into one-on-one because he will flatten you in any situation. And he's just a great overall D end for Marshall. And he's going to be, I say on the defensive side of the ball, he could probably be a top 10. Yeah, like top 10 pick. So I don't know, I think my screen just froze for a second there. But like a top 10 defensive player in the draft. So will he be? I kind of hope he was. I think when you lead the FBS in sacks, that's always a good sign. Doesn't matter about your competition. He's a great overall player. And I think he could be, a top 10 pick. Or top 10 defensive pick, sorry. That's all we got for this segment. The next segment and the final one, we're talking NFL mock draft. Talk about some players where I think they'll go. We'll get to that after the break. Welcome back to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Nolan Jamber. First 4 segments, we talked NBA, recapped the games from last night, previewed the games from tonight. For the past 2 segments, we've been talking NFL, we talked defensive ends and receivers. In this segment, the final segment for today, we're sticking with the NFL, just a quick little mock draft that I cooked up. I think the NFL this year, the draft, I feel like it's pretty set in stone for the first 3 picks. Overall, we know who the first 3 players off the board will be. Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, Abdul Carter. We know that those 3 will be, we know that those 3 will be the first ones off the board, but it's a matter of what order. And I think I know it, so I'm going to say it. Cam Ward at 1. I think Cam Ward is just a guaranteed number 1 spot. I think he's just I think the Titans need a quarterback, and Cam Ward is the best quarterback in this draft. I think he really is. I think Cam Ward will be a huge help for the Titans in the future and just the current year. Now here, 2 and 3 is when the draft really starts. See, the past few weeks I've been saying I'm 100% sure Travis Hunter goes to the Cleveland Browns at 2. But I'm still going to stand by that. But I'm going to switch it up today. And I'm going to say that, okay, Abdul Carter goes to number 2 to the Browns, and Travis Hunter goes to 3 to the Giants. I want to see, I want to say why that could happen. So, obviously, Travis Hunter, I think he goes to the Browns at 2. But let's say Abdul Carter goes to the Browns at 2. The reason I think the Browns do that is because they want to match Myles Garrett, a Hall of Famer, just re-signed him to a multi-million-dollar contract. They have Hall of Famer Myles Garrett paired up with rookie Abdul Carter, possibly the best defensive end to come out of Penn State in recent years, behind Micah Parsons. I think that's the reason that the Browns would draft Abdul Carter over Travis Hunter. But I'm still standing firm that Travis Hunter will be drafted at 2. But for today, I'm going to change it up and say Abdul Carter's going 2 to the Browns because they want to match him with Myles Garrett. And that leaves Travis Hunter at 3 for the New York Giants. I think he would fit very well into that system. The Giants need a lot. Cornerback and receiver are one of them. And the thing about Travis Hunter, well, what do you know? He plays not only both of them, but he wants to play both of them at the professional level as well. He said in an interview that if he's not playing both sides of the ball, he doesn't want to go to that organization. And I think the Giants will figure out a way to manage him, play him in multiple positions, offense and defense. Maybe like offense possession, rest him, and then defense the next possession or whatever situation they're in. And I think he would fit. I mean, him and Malik Neighbors, 2 receivers on different sides of the ball, would be a very good duo. Plus, they just signed Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson. I mean, they got 2 vet quarterbacks, and they'll probably end up getting a rookie quarterback out of the draft as well. So that would be a huge help for both of those teams. So top 3 right now, they got Cam Ward at 1, Abdul Carter at 2 for the Browns, and then Travis Hunter at 3 for the New York Giants. Then after that, we got the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots, they're in need of, I'm not going to say a lot, but they need a decent amount. They got a quarterback, and I've been saying this for a little while. I think their defense is not their weak spot. I think their defense is honestly fine where it is. I think what they need is a receiver. Ramondre Stevenson, he's already a good running back. They already have a good tight end, Hunter Henry. So what I think they do is draft a receiver. Maybe a tight end. They could go, for Colston Loveland out of Michigan or Tyler Warren out of Penn State. I think those are 2 very solid options for the Patriots if they want a tight end. But I think they go for a receiver with the 4 spot. And obviously there's a million guys they can go to. McMillan, like I said earlier, out of Arizona. Jaden Higgins, Iowa State. Matthew Golden, Texas. There's a million. But I think it is take the best receiver that's available at Teteria McMillan. I still can't say his first name. I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. I definitely am butchering it. But I think it is take the best receiver available after Travis Hunter, and McMillan is just that receiver for them. They just signed Stephon Diggs to a 3-year deal. But, he's getting to an older age. He's getting to an older time of his life, and his body's getting worn down. He's not, he's getting a little slower. His routes are getting a little sloppier. And, I think they'd go for a new young receiver to match him with Drake May. Then after that, you got the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 5. I think they get Mason Graham. I just think they need a D lineman. They need one bad, and Mason Graham is the best defensive tackle in this draft, and I think they go and grab him. I think that's just pretty set in stone. They don't really need anybody else. I feel. They do need a lot, but defense is their weak suit, so they go for a good D end or good defensive tackle at 5 with Mason Graham. Sorry. Number 6, you got the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders have the 6th overall pick, and they are taking Ashton Genty with that 6th overall pick. I think everybody just kind of saw this one coming. He's been practicing. He's been at their facilities. He's been training, working out with them for a little while now. And the Raiders want him bad. The Raiders really want a good running back to help. They got Pete Carroll in there now as their head coach. And they got Geno Smith as their quarterback. Their defense, is pretty weak, so they could go for like a D-end quarterback. But I just don't think they will. I think they're going for Genty, and I just think he would fit that system well. Pete Carroll loves smash mouth football, and Ashton Genty is that running back for that system, smash mouth football. And I think Genty goes at 6 to the Raiders. The Jets at 7. The Jets at 7 is really weird. They could get anything they want. I mean, they need a lot, but honestly, what don't they need? They need a lot. They need a quarterback. I mean, Zach Wilson. He's not even on the team anymore. I forgot he's not on the Jets anymore. But, I mean, they need a lot. So the Jets will probably just go for whoever's best available at the time. And I think the best available player for them will be Will Johnson out of Michigan at cornerback. I think pairing him and Sauce Gardner together would be a really good combination of players. Two very young. Sauce Gardner was drafted only 2 years ago. He's still really young, very fast, and I think he's still a really good receiver or cornerback. And Will Johnson, even with him being a little injured last year, was still a phenomenal player overall. And I think him and Sauce Gardner be a really lethal duo in New York for the Jets. Then you got at the 8 spot, you got the Carolina Panthers, who also I think will go for a running back. Honestly, I take that back. Not a running back, a receiver. They really don't have a solid. I mean, they have receivers, but nothing really crazy. So I think they just go for the best receiver on the board still available, which will either be Matthew Golden or Jaden Higgins. Yeah, you got Emeka Egbuka. I still can't say his name. Ohio State. He's a good receiver as well. But I think Golden's probably the best receiver who will be available at the time because McMillan will be gone. So I think the Panthers will end up taking Matthew Golden at the 8th pick. The New Orleans Saints. See, they were I didn't know what they were going to do until recently. Derek Carr's injury came through, and that has proven I think they will get a quarterback. I'm certain they will get a quarterback. It's just a matter of which one they're going to get, because Cam Ward, he will be gone. So at that point, it's going to be, okay, Shedeur Sanders, Jackson Dart, Will Howard. I mean, who are they going to get? I think they just go also for the best quarterback available at the time, who will be Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, Jackson Dart's good, but I don't think he's good enough to be the 9th overall pick. I think Jackson Dart will be a late first or early second. So I think Shedeur Sanders goes number 9 overall to the New Orleans Saints just because of Derek Carr's injury. If Derek Carr never got injured, if he didn't get injured, I think the Saints would have taken anybody. Honestly, they're probably the best player available. They need a lot. The Saints really do need a lot. They could use a healthy receiver. I mean, you got Olave is always hurt. You could use a running back. Alvin Kamara, he's a great running back, but he's hurt a lot. Defensive end, D lineman, they'll probably end up just taking the best available player. But since Derek Carr got injured, I think they take a quarterback just to be safe, and that quarterback will be Shedeur Sanders. Cincinnati Bengals, they 100% will be taking a defensive lineman. I'd be very surprised if they don't. Not an edge. I think they take a defensive lineman, and I think that guy will be Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss or Kenneth Grant out of Michigan. Either one of those two guys. They're both really big, fast guys. They can both clog up holes and gaps and cause mayhem. So I think the Chicago Bears, will take either Walter Nolan or Kenneth Grant at the 10th spot. And for the last pick I'll do for the show, the San Francisco 49ers at the 11th pick. You just traded a lot of your players. I wouldn't say a lot, but Deebo Samuel, he's gone. So what do they need? People are saying a quarterback. They don't need to draft a quarterback at the 11th pick. They don't need a tight end. Their defense is still fine. So they're either going to go for a receiver or maybe an offensive lineman. But it's most likely going to be a receiver. And the receiver that they get, honestly, is probably going to be Jaden Higgins out of Iowa State or Emeka Egbaka. I still cannot say his last name for the life of me. Out of Ohio State. It's going to be either one of those two. Whoever's the best available on the board at the time, they will be going to the Niners just because they traded away, Deebo Samuel and a lot of their guys this offseason. But, I mean, overall, it's all obviously, a mock draft is just speculation. It's just who I think is going to go where. And that's honestly it. That's honestly a mock draft is. Just speculation and hoping you're right. So that's why I wanted to throw that in there. That's all I got for today. Thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Dead Ball Sports Podcast, hosted by GSMC Sports Network. Your continuous support really means the world, so feel free to like, comment, and share. If you want to stay up to date with all things GSMC, make sure to follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Instagram, X/Twitter, Snapchat. If there's social media, we have it. We're on it. So thank you for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Have a good one.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet. Damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to